everybody's heard about the DC plane crash last week with the Black Hawk helicopter.
Still no answers, Kelly. Still no.
Everybody's also heard about the Philadelphia plane that went down with the young 11-year-old girl that just got spinal surgery. And now this is the third major incident in U.S. aviation history. Aviation history this week. Like there's 3 in 1 week. I keep saying that wrong. Sorry.
Third time it happened at 3 in 1 week, or
3 in 1 week. So there's all these major incidents in 1 week, and
major,
they're big. So this plane, they're searching for a commercial passenger plane that went missing over the Bering Sea in freezing, windy conditions. I think it was like 9 degrees, and it's like lightly windy. The single-engine Cessna operated by Bering Air had 9 passengers and 1 pilot on board. The plane's last known position was lost around 3:20 p.m. local time, and it was only approximately 12 miles offshore. The Coast Guard, the Air Force, National Guard are all looking. They're trying to track passengers via their cell phones. This is the third major incident in 10 days following the D.C., where 67 people died, and the Philadelphia plane crash. It was traveling from Unalakleet to Nome in Alaska. And, so it had 9-degree Fahrenheit temperatures, light snow, gusty winds, and poor visibility at time of the incident. The final communication was when the pilot informed air traffic control in Anchorage about entering a holding pattern before the plane's altitude dropped and its signal was lost. So they were communicating to the ATC like, "Hey, we're ready to land." They requested boat owners. Anything else I need to tell you?
Can I ask a question, Kelly? While you're looking. It's 2025, if I'm not mistaken. Our technology, when it comes to airplanes, there should be something on. I don't understand how they're like, we don't know where it is. Like, what are we even talking about? There has to. I know the black boxes are on every single airplane. Sometimes they can't find them. Did they find the ones on 9/11?
Yes.
Next to Muhammad Atta's perfect air passport. I just don't understand. Like, we need to that. That boggles my mind, like that Malaysian one that had those orbs flying about. Yeah. Where is it?
Yeah. Okay, but wait. Right, so that one, though, I know we talked about this on Unusual Suspects before. Where did we get footage of that?
People were recording it because they saw smoke coming up.
From all the way up in the freaking air?
Oh, yeah.
The Malaysian one with the 3 things going around it?
Oh, no, the 3 things on there were from, so they took their camera and they could put infrared on the camera, and it's, I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's 3 orbs.
Came out recently, right? Like within the last year or so?
Oh, and by the way, this guy that's doing it now, I don't know if we can find it. This guy that we tried to get on said that he would put his entire life savings if anybody could prove what he's saying is wrong, and nobody's stepping up. It's an airplane that's flying. It banks. It has they were saying that it was carrying lithium on the bottom of it and that it may have exploded. So you see the fire trail, the smoke trail, coming out of it. It banks, and then it starts going this way, and all of a sudden these 3 white balls, orbs, and bro, he proved without any doubt, with the clouds, with the shadowing, that these things are going, and then all of a sudden the plane, Kelly.
I have lots of doubts.
Lots of doubts, but guess what? He'll put his money where his mouth is. The plane disappeared. There's no bodies. There's no nothing. And then they just started finding pieces of the wing and shit in random places, and it doesn't add up.
That's the Malaysia plane you're talking about?
Malaysia flight, if I'm not mistaken.
MH something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was coming from Kuala Lumpur, I think.
Yeah, and this guy's like, bro, I'm telling you right. And if you see the footage, if you guys have a chance, go on X. Well, Kelly, you keep going. I'm gonna.
No, yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know how much I believe that one, but I do think, the Earth is a really big place. And when planes go down over the ocean, that's just a bajillion miles to cover, and things can move very quickly. But they haven't found the plane yet, so there's 10 people that are missing on this Alaskan plane. It's 3 incidents in 10 days. So it makes you wonder, like, who's at fault here? We recently did an episode, it's coming out next week, with Pat about this as well, but I want to ask the question, like, I don't think it's just pilots. I don't think it's just this DEI nonsense in the media. Did you know that 90% of air traffic control towers are understaffed? So we're going to show...
Say that number again.
90% of air traffic control towers are understaffed.
Why?
So we all found out this week that there were supposed to be 2 controllers working the night of the DC crash, and there was only 1 there at the time of the crash. If we could show this chart, Net.
Go ahead.
So this shows their staffing targets for the FAA standard and what they're actually meeting. And and then this is the bottom chart. It shows with it includes people in training. So it's only at 8% when we include people that are training. Of 2,000 people that get trained, only 1,000 of them will probably get certified in the next 2 to 3 years. So,
side note, this is a math. So we did this on PVD Pod too, where they were talking about the DI, all that stuff in the staffing for the air traffic controllers.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's a massive reason that they did it, because no one wanted to do the job. They were massively understaffed, so they're like, "Wow, we have to open up the regulations to have more people."
yeah, it's a scary job. You know, it's stressful. Like, you have to really be on it in order to, say, okay, this plane's coming here. I've got 5 more waiting. And I started because I did all that research for that episode. I started getting all the videos on my feed of like recordings of air traffic controllers talking to planes, and some of the conversations are wild. It's hard for them to understand each other. Air traffic controllers are having an attitude, stuff like that. So I'm not saying I'm not blaming them for anything. I'm just saying they're 90% understaffed. So how safe do I feel flying right now? 0. And because it's not only my pilot, it's what my pilot's being told from the ground. And if the person on the ground is not paying attention, or is overworked, or is overwhelmed by the airports are getting busier. 82% of Alaskan communities rely on air travel. They're in the middle of freaking
they're nowhere. They're in the freaking piece of ice.
So, and this is actually the second plane to have an incident in Alaska. There was that plane that also went down in Alaska, and I think they got 4 of them survived in the water. I think it was a much smaller plane.
Man.
But anyway, so I just wanted to kind of share that because I have a trip coming up. I'm a little nervous to fly.
Oh, great.
I'm supposed to go see my family, so I'm a little nervous to fly. But I needed you guys to know. Anybody wants to be air traffic controller, they need
Go
you.
sign your ass.
You know what's ridiculous though is that like, if you need more people for something, increase the pay. And if they say like, oh, we don't have enough money, this is a government agency, and we're finding out that like millions of dollars are getting shoveled out to things that nobody cares about and aren't necessary. So like, how easy would it be to increase the price of whatever it needs to be for the market to rush into that job? Like, like the average pay in the country is like $50,000 a year. Most people would go like bend over backwards for a job that pays $200,000 a year. So what's the average pay? You think like 70, 80, maybe 100 for that?
I'm not sure. I can
But
look it up.
if they jacked it up to like 150 a year or something, they'd have people freaking rush into that.
And that's
like
the
crazy.
job that you want.
It's not just that. Like, okay, yeah, we would get more people, but it takes years to train for this. It's complicated.
Well, that's a government,
especially when you have people from other countries at international airports. I listened to an air traffic controller talk to a pilot, and like he literally couldn't understand the pilot because he had an accent and he wasn't enunciating clearly and was not understanding. Well, the other pilot also was not understanding. The ATC guy was speaking a perfect English and was like, turn left on MA, do not go to J, for exits, and they can't understand each other. So like, no wonder.
Because of the accent?
There was another incident in the Seattle airport where Japan plane literally backed into, or vice versa, I'm not sure, the Delta
I've seen that
plane, right?
Yeah.
You did my news bite for it.
Yeah, I did the news.
So, again, that makes it also seem like air traffic controllers are overwhelmed.
I don't believe that it takes years to do though, because like the standards that people put in place are bullshit a lot of the time. Like Musk always talks about.
We need more standards for air safety.
No, but we need higher expectations though. Like you could go into like a factory and they'll say like, yeah, it takes this long to do this, but as somebody with higher expectations says like, yeah, no bullshit, cut this step, do this faster. You could cut the time in half with that a lot of the time. Like government expectations are like very subpar a lot of the time. So I don't think they're getting the best out of people necessarily, especially with like those type of agencies.
I think efficiency is part of it, but Malik, you got thoughts?
Yeah, so I mean, you were saying like maybe pay the air traffic controllers more money. Well, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median annual wage for air traffic controllers is $137,000.
It's pretty good.
I mean,
that's a lot of money.
That's smart.
Yeah,
that's all, dude. Their math and they have to be on point, bro. A lot of these near misses, which I think they're near hits.
We could show this too.
Okay, and by the way, not only I have a fear of flying on the air traffic control and the pilots, what about the airplanes falling apart? Like, did we all forget?
Boeing.
Like, it's just Boeing and all these guys. And then the guy that wants to blow the whistle shoots himself. I don't believe that. Okay, so now, guys, this bottom, and I want Nat to zoom in, Nat, on the bottom one. This is the 2014 370 airplane.
That's the Malaysia flight?
That's on the bottom. Like, and that even closer. I don't care about the Spain one.
Okay.
That zoom in. And this is Ashton Forbes, guys, on X. You guys can find this guy on X. Nat, zoom in on that so we can make it bigger on the
Or
screen.
just play it, or just
Yeah. See
play
those,
it.
that one, Nat, and the bottom left and the bottom right. Look at those orbs that are showing up. There you go, Nat. On the right side, you see that smoke
Yeah.
besides the right one, Nat? That is.
Can you play it, Nat?
Yeah, play it, and now look. And this guy did proof that this isn't made up. Look at the orbs on the right, and then these things start showing up, and then the plane disappears. Kels, watch the one on the right. Chris, watch this.
Could it have exploded?
No. Just watch this. Watch the right, and it's moving the smoke from the vapor from the gas in the back. Look at the bottom right. Watch this. Oh, did it start again, Nat? Oh no, there it is. Yeah, look, dude. Let me explain something to you. That is some crazy stuff. And then, all right, now you can stop it. So if you guys, I'm telling you right now, Ashton Forbes did a dive on this, and he is dying on this sword, and he's like, there's nobody that can prove me wrong that this is real. That meaning they weren't CGI Kelly, he proved it. You still have that look.
How
he proved
do you make a plane disappear?
come on.
Because of you think I know all I know is that
Obviously opened a portal to another dimension.
obviously, thanks Jake. But and by the way, he put out the gauntlet. If anybody could prove him wrong,
You can't prove yourself right. Where's
Yes,
the
he
plane
did.
then?
Well,
Where did it go?
It disappeared.
Yeah,
It's gone. There's no
different
bodies. There's no black box. Nothing. They didn't find anything. They found pieces of the plane that had the wrong serial number on it. Who knows, Kelly?
You don't think we could open portals? Come on.
Is this Lost in real life? Is Lost happening now too?
I don't. Let me explain something to you. Do you, with all the shit that they've kept from us, do you put anything past these people, these demons? I don't.
Right. I definitely think we could open portals. Come on.
Well, unfortunately, that's why I've been like 3 times in 3 weeks made me question immediately, like, is this really DEI or is this like the work of somebody bad? Like, is this somebody who's just incompetent and inept at their job, or is
so
it
that's
people
my
who?
point. It's not, and it's not that air traffic controllers are incompetent. It looks like more the fact that they are understaffed and that they're overworked and that they're not supported. If there's 90% of control towers that don't have enough people working them, you've got 10% that are meet standards, not even going above standards. That's super scary. So we're kind of stuck with this situation. There's more and more flights being added every year. People are traveling more, especially after COVID. It's not necessarily incompetence. It's that we don't have a system in place that's safe anymore if we don't have control towers that are staffed enough.
That's the problem with the government-run thing, though, because like the market's supposed to fix that. Like if there's a shortage or something, like we pay $1 trillion a year in welfare for people just to sit around and do nothing. And so when it's a government agency, like instead of like an actual business, then like the business would have been like, oh, okay, we have a shortage here, we have demand here, there's infinite demand for flights, so we need to like have enough people here to make this run well, but it's not correcting itself.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do the suspect?
I don't think we have time for that.
What time is
It's
it?
5:30.
Okay. Well, listen. Kelly's gonna do her own deep dive on freaking Ashton Forbes' freaking orbs.
I am now because
What?
I love a good.
And please let me know
conspiracy.
if you believe that he's lying. And meaning this
I'm
guy
sure
took
he believes
years.
he's right. I'm sure he believes he's right.
Oh, but listen, believing something is one thing. Him saying, and you should see Kelly the in-depth shit that he did. Meaning, this plane's going. That vapor, whatever you want to call it, this orb is moving that vapor. It's not fake. So
Yeah.
you tell me if that's happening in real time, what are those balls that just showed up and are spinning and then the thing disappears? Make that make sense to me.
Clip that.
Teleport.
Flip that.
Yep.
I've actually seen those. Like, believe it or not, I was driving back from Deli's house around like 11 p.m. one night. I'm driving past Fort Lauderdale Airport, and I see these orbs through the clouds. I've seen 3 of them, and I knew I wasn't tripping. I knew I wasn't.
Hold on, how high? How much did you?
I was not high at all.
Oh, okay.
Like, I was driving back home from Deli's house, but I was not high.
Okay.
Like that's something I will not sit there and make up. I've seen it floating around Fort Lauderdale Airport as you take the interchange from 95 to the turnpike going north.
Yeah.
In that specific spot, I've seen 3 orbs.
What do you like in that moment? You're like, oh, I mean, you're not pulling out your phone. You're just like, oh shit.
I was driving on the interchange, so I couldn't stare too much, but I was
Yeah.
like, there's no way I saw what I saw, and I
saw
just kept
it.
driving. Yeah.
Oh, bro, I was on an airplane once and beautiful, clear sky. And I just saw, we're going this way. I'm looking out the window and I see a grayish ball just go boom that way. And the guy in front of me goes, oh, shit. And I go, did you see that? And he's like, yeah. I mean, we didn't disappear. I'm still here. But it was like one of those moments like, bro, you know how close it was to the, if that hits our wing, I'm not here. That's crazy, bro.
And if I'm driving and I see 3 orbs, I'm causing chaos on the parkway because my phone's coming out and I'm making sure
I'm pulling
that
over,
somebody
hazard,
sees
I'm
these
gonna
3
be
orbs.
that
Yeah.
guy.
I'm gonna investigate, but I love what the great Sherlock Holmes said.
What'd he say?
When you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains is likely the most probable. So
Well,
it sounds impossible. So now I guess it's my responsibility.
tonight, whatever plans you had, done. You're gonna. Kelly,
This is why I'm single, because I do research and I read too much.
How many books have you read? Honest to God.
So I'm reading a book a week this year. I've read 3 so far, so I'm 2 behind. But I'm almost done with the 4th book, and I'll finish the 5th one
your
this
lifetime.
Nice.
Oh, I've read over 5,000 books in my life.
Wow.
That is freaking. I know Pat's up there. I don't know if he's at 5,000, but that's crazy.
I used to read a lot as a kid.
Well, you know how hard it is for me to read. Yeah, we were just.
Well, I didn't have a phone. I didn't have computer. You know, I was a 90s baby, so
me neither.
My parents would get so mad because they would buy me books for my birthday or Christmas.
And then you're reading
And then
them.
an hour later, I'd be like, oh my God, I loved it. And my dad's like, yay, you can
Go.
read so well, and I love that you loved it, but I just spent $20 on a book and you're done.
It's
and
finished.
I
You're
got
like, yeah,
another
go
one."
get another one. Yeah, like, go get another one. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.